What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new workflow video. Today, we're going to be diving into a bookmark that I designed and showing you my complete workflow from start to finish. This is a much more basic design, and so hopefully you'll pick up a couple tips and tricks along the way to improve your HueForge workflow. So without wasting any more time, let's dive right in. All right, so this month our theme is horror, and that is this Ghostface bookmark that we're working on. This one is a really fun one because we have two real options. We have a color pop option or standard mode. Now, if you're familiar with my workflow, then you'll know that I always start with standard mode. I try to see if we can do this inside of standard mode. So let's take a look and see if it's possible. When I press my middle scroll wheel in, it brings up the luminance map here. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, check out my beginner series. It'll be linked in the description below. We have a dark gray up here. We have a light gray on the tip of the sword and in the sword. And we have a medium gray here on the cloak. In fact, I think the cloak might be a little bit darker, and then this might be a little bit lighter. My eyes struggle sometimes with the different shades. So let's give it a shot inside of standard mode. We know that we need, obviously, red. So we're going to bring in a red. Then we're going to bring in a gray, maybe blue gray, maybe light gray later. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so now we need to play around with the order of them. If the red is the lighter of the two, then maybe we bring, or maybe red's the darker of the two. It is so difficult for me to see. This is why, playing around inside of HueForge is so important. We're going to put red there, and then we're going to bring gray down, maybe like that. We're going to bring black down quite a bit. There we go. Okay, so we get something like this inside of standard mode, and we can play around with this a little bit. Like, we can try to rebase a little bit to get some deeper reds there. It's not really working out. We can play around with our brightness a little bit, see if we can deepen that saturation. We could even maybe try a light gray in place of the blue gray so that it's not blending as much with the black. You can see that definitely brightens up the image. This looks fine. You can probably get it to work, but I've already spent too much time in standard mode, so let's go to color pop. You could also do this, like, pretty easily, if you want just red to shine, and you can maybe add white there to make a gray if you only wanted to use 3 filaments. Too much work. Let's go to color pop mode. Color pop mode is the best mode, in my opinion. I love this mode so much. We're going to go ahead and just place red all the way at the top because we know that we want it there. We're going to move our white up just to be above or below that line there. I typically like to keep this anywhere between 0.60 and 0.75 depending on the print. In this one, we actually might come down a little bit lower to like 0.55. Something like that. We need to add our gray in, so I'm going to come back to our blue gray and bring that in. There we go. Something like that. Now you can see the cloak here. We have this kind of a weird patchiness, and that typically boils down to a couple things. The main one is being a low res image. It's picking up 2 different luminance values in this version of standard mode. The other option that we could do to fix that is just to increase the brightness enough, come into SpotFix and select all of these flat areas that we want to be this gray. And this, you can see that this is so easy to do. This update with the newest version of HueForge has just been incredible. Select that. We're going to click flat, and then we're going to bring this down back to 0. And now you can see the splotchiness is completely gone. We've remedied it. Awesome. We'll do that there. Now, because I have black so low here, it means that these areas here are going to be super flimsy, especially here in the face and in the mask. What we want to do is maybe increase our base thickness by 1, just to add a little bit more rigidity to the bookmark in case, it were to break or this corner were to be super flimsy. We don't want that, especially if we're making this for people to print and sell. We want them to be very high quality. So it's something you want to think through as you're making them. Then lastly, I might need to rebase this red, primarily because it's really light right now, and I want this to be a deep red. Rebasing is the simple idea of moving the black layer and placing it above this line. You always want it to be above your color pop line. If I were to bring it up here, then we're making black the top of my bottom HueForge, and you don't want that. You want this black to be the bottom of your top HueForge. I have a full tutorial on that in my beginner series again, so go check that out. I know I'm beating that like a drum, like we're killing it here, but I know I'm going to get comments about it. So, description. Then, if we wanted to, we could maybe add a white to the top. And it really will just help with the tip of our knife here when we bring the red down. The nice thing is we can afford to bring our red down kind of a lot because we've rebased with black. So we can bring that down if we really wanted to add that dynamic kind of tip to the knife there. Do we have to do that? Absolutely not. We can print that and it would look fantastic, but I do kind of like it. I like that a lot. Those little touches go a long way. So this is how I would approach this bookmark inside of ColourPop mode. We're using 4 filaments here. We're using black, blue, gray, white, black, red, and then white again. ColourPop mode is so much more than just this. Just like that, this looks great and you can print this, but this looks so much better. Genuinely looks so much better, so much more detailed, so much more depth to the print. Once you really start figuring out ColourPop mode, these things start to become a lot easier and you get more depth in prints that would typically be too flat. Well, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick ColourPop workflow video. If you're looking for more tutorials or more help, make sure to check out all of my other videos. I have tons of tutorials across all of YouTube. You can join my Discord and ask any specific questions you have. Or if you're looking to go from 0 to pro in the course of about 6 months, check out my Patreon. I have one-on-one coaching available. We do group classes every single month, and there's a whole 10-module course that's available for you to go from beginner to pro in no time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, y'all, take care.